Going on YouTube, we are in the car and we are cooking like a pig. It is super hot in here and I'm about to open up the windows, but first I need to test this car and see if the reinstalled factory idle air control valve is going to make a difference in this car refusing to idle like a normal freaking car. Here we go. I got to start it up because I'm dying. Well, it's definitely better. Man, I gotta figure out how to put this phone. I can't. Having trouble because the tripod is too short to. Freak, it's hot. Oh man. I want it right here, but the tripod won't hold it right here. I don't think. Maybe, where's the camera? Let's try this. Maybe if I turn the wheel. Oh, this is ghetto. Okay. Well, we're doing a little bit better. It's not jumping up to 2,500 RPM. Did reset the check engine light, but that might come on if it doesn't like me. I would say that I can't believe that the remanufactured thing I got from eBay was a piece of garbage, but I suppose I can believe it. You know, it just, sometimes you luck out with eBay stuff. Sometimes it's, you know, a pretty good match and it works all right. Like if this mass air fuel sensor can work for 20 bucks, that's a steal compared to the $80, you know, Parts Geek or somebody else wants for it. Oh, here we go. Now we're getting down to the idle I'm looking for somewhere. And the camera's a little bit high, so it's, no, I guess the camera's giving a pretty accurate reading. Oh, baby. Oh, this low idle's never felt so good. Oh my God. You know, all this swearing at the car and swearing at the car, and it was the owner that made the mistake of putting in a cheap part. I guarantee if I would have bought a brand new $350 idle air control valve, even though I didn't have to buy a new one, if I bought a brand new one and installed it, I would have saved about $200 worth of mechanic labor. $110 for one and $85 for the other place. So I would have been 100 and, you know, 100 something in the hole, but I wouldn't have had all these problems and put all this wear and tear on my car from this high idle. I'm trying to shift with a high idle. Oh my gosh. We're not even warmed up. We're still at cold in the temperature gauge, and I'm at about, oh, this is, oh, thank freaking God. You know, it was driving me crazy. It was seriously driving me crazy because, you know, I'm not like an expert mechanic or anything, but you know, replacing this idle air control valve was not such a complicated thing, and I was fairly certain that I replaced it right, I plugged it in right, I plugged in all the vacuum cables, you know, I was just at a loss for what the hell was going on. And I never thought to check the initial function of the valve straight out of the box, which, given that its function is fairly easy to check by blowing through that tube, I'm kind of embarrassed that I just didn't check it right there. You know, you can't always check all parts. Like, it's hard to check, you know, I guess you could kind of check, like, spark plugs and stuff like that. But, you know, valves and things, you could try putting a little vacuum on it and such. But, you know, unless you have the right gauges and meters, you can't always tell if it's going to work. So, I guess this ends the mystery of why my car didn't want to idle, because I was stupid and put in a part that was a piece of garbage, and I didn't check that the part even worked before I put it in. So next mission, get the bike running a little bit better. I just turned the mixture screw out about 3/4 of a turn because I was getting some symptoms that, based on my Googling, is indicating a lean condition. Because ultimately I want to take that thing up on some fire trail roads and go mess around. I've been, you know, I rode it around the few blocks a few times. I rode it to work once. That was kind of a disaster because it turned out to be a dog to start. So I really need to get it to where it's going to start cold a lot better so that I can ride it to work and not... You know, when you kickstart a bike for 20 minutes wearing leather pants, let me tell you, you die. You practically die. It's so dehydrating. You sweat so much in those damn pants. I do need to get some tech pants, but I like those pants. I like leather. Leather is nice and sturdy, but the pants don't connect to my jacket. I just have like a normal sort of dress leather jacket, which is leather. It's solid leather. Not worried about its integrity, but ideally you want to have either a one-piece suit, which I'll probably get someday when I get a sport bike, but a tech suit that connects the jacket and the pants zip together so that you don't get bad road rash on your stomach or your back or, you know, God knows what, right? Even for the exhaust, you know, you fall off the bike and the thing rolls on you and, you know, the hot exhaust is on your back. You want to be protected. So I'm getting off topic, but my car is idling at a very, very reasonable 1,000, and hopefully this will mean my check engine light will stay off, and if it comes on, that means, you know, I'll just check the code. And ideally you want your check engine light off because it's there to tell you what's wrong with your car. It's not, you're really not to be driving around your car with the thing on constantly, because for one thing, my car won't operate the vehicle's skid control when the check engine light's on. It's a real dog like that. It wants the engine to be working perfectly, otherwise it's not giving you your vehicle stability control. ABS seems to work when the check engine light's on, but anyways. Thanks for watching, YouTube. I know this high idle issue has been the most thrilling thing in my channel in recent weeks, but it's my life. It's what I've been working on, you know, and I'm always honest about what's going on, and sometimes life isn't perfect, sometimes you make a mistake trying to make things better, and to be honest, that's kind of the story of the home mechanic, you know. Fix one thing, break two things, you know, one step forward, two steps back. But today we took 2 steps forward and 1 step back, so we're making progress. Till next time, YouTube, stay safe, stay ready, be careful buying aftermarket parts on eBay, and keep your cars, motorcycles running better than I do, and as always, keep prepping.